Star Wars Jedi Survivor may be one of the most perfect Star Wars games ever made. I've just beat this game and honestly I am lost for words. But before we continue, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the performance of this game. There have been many reports all over the internet on every platform that this game can struggle to work properly, seemingly the worst on PC. So if you're yet to purchase this game, please keep this in mind depending on your platform of choice and your patience with bugs. There have been patches, but as of writing this, there is no word on how things may have changed. Personally on my end, I played on a PS5 and had 0 issues. Yeah, I know. The force is strong with my PlayStation. So this video essay will not have anything to do with the performance since I had 0 issues. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about Jedi Survivor. The first part will have minor spoilers with the gameplay being captured in the intro of the story. After that, I'll give you one final warning before things get nuts with nothing being held back. With that out the way, let's jump right into it.
What took you so long? While you've been chasing shadows, I have been stopped!
You have been caught harboring a traitor.
Kestis! Open fire! Scatter! Get to cover!
Ferric and Inquisitor! Look out!
Yes, yes.
Jedi Survivor tells a surprising tale. One honestly I didn't expect. But as you saw in that cutscene, the story centers around Cal and his battle with the dark side. And when I say battle, I truly mean it's a battle. Cal will be tested in ways we have yet to see in what might be the most refreshing story about a Jedi. This isn't about the fall of Anakin Skywalker, or his son who redeemed them, or even how a scavenger went from a nobody to a Skywalker. This is a story about survivors of Order 66 finding purpose in what Ben Kenobi called the Dark Times. Cal, from the beginning, thinks that his purpose is fighting the Empire, and that fight has slowly taken everything from him. First, it was his master. Now, it was his family. It's not much of a spoiler, but the crew of the Mantis that we saw at the end of Jedi Fallen Order is no longer together, simply because Cal was the only one yet to find his purpose in the galaxy. Breeze wanted to settle down, Seer wanted to regather the history of the Jedi Order, and Marion wanted to see the rest of the galaxy. Fighting the Empire head-on wasn't their purpose. Not because, you know, that's the fight of a farm boy from Tatooine, because at this very moment in time, this fight wasn't possible to win, and thankfully, they made this clear right off the bat. Now, when it comes to gameplay, it's like Fallen Order, but with far more detail. It's honestly a hybrid of Ghost of Tsushima and God of War Ragnarok, but obviously with lightsabers, blasters, and the Force. Oh, and those awesome B1 battle droids. If you were wondering, yes, the Uncharted experience is very much there and cranked up to a whole new level, with Cal exploring many once great places back in the High Republic. The one thing I must say is that with this fine-tuned experience comes a shockingly easy linear experience. Navigating from point A to point B is pretty easy, even though this open world game was frequently confusing to navigate in the previous title. They have managed to simplify the navigation with a cleaner map and level design techniques that were too seen in the Uncharted franchise. I too want to mention this. Respawn used the High Republic era masterfully. To many, this era is unknown to them, so I think that they had a nice balance at throwing a bone to a Star Wars nerd like me who reads and watches practically everything, but at the same time keeping an unknown era to many as simple as possible. Since we are on the topic of the High Republic, one of the best parts is this High Republic Jedi named Deegan Gera. This fallen Jedi tells a different tale, and and while I won't spill the beans, he represents what Cal may become in this battle against the dark side. He clearly, in this masterful scene, bleeds his kyber in his lightsaber from yellow to red. This scene alone honestly does wonders to instill confidence in the story team of this series. It is clear that they have had conversations with those at Lucasfilm Story Group and or have read the comics and books of this canon, because this is how a red kyber is made. The user bleeds the kyber as if the kyber is a living thing itself. This bleeding symbolizes the turn to the dark side of the Force. As we saw in Malicos in the Dathomir section of Fallen Order, and now before our eyes in this scene, the dark side is a strong force in this game. It's important to mention that Deegan isn't a Sith. Same goes with Malicos. These two people are only Jedi who have fallen to the dark side, a theme you will see throughout this wonderful story. Now, let's get to full-on spoilers.
It's been a while. I was hoping you drowned on Nur when we blew a hole in your underwater base.
It is delusion to think your actions have had any consequence. The fortress stands. The Inquisitorius continues its work. And I have come for you.
I've been waiting.
This appearance by Vader himself isn't a cameo. It's a reminder of the greater story at play. Vader isn't here to make some cool, flashy showing, even though this was insane. He's here at this moment due to the consequences of our characters. Cal has been very out there, even based on the words of a senator caught the eyes of the Emperor. When you do that, you at this stage in the galaxy are doomed. Any issue I had at first with the story was that the actions of what we were doing were beginning to tarnish the meaning of Luke Skywalker. Luke, by the end of the original trilogy, is the last Jedi. So spoilers for other series out there, but it's why Ahsoka is no longer a Jedi, why Kanan, my favorite Jedi ever, died saving the crew of the Ghost, and why Ezra at the end of Rebels sacrificed himself to give the rebellion a chance against the Empire by taking Thrawn with the help of the Purrgil to an unknown place. Seer was building up the Jedi archives. That can't happen. Cal, a Jedi, cannot be a celebrity at this point either, as he was shown in the beginning of the game to be very known. So here comes Vader to bring balance to the greater story and to clean up Cal's recklessness by killing Seer and truly putting the dark side at Cal's doorstep.
Why? Why, Bo? For this! We fought for that together, and you're just gonna hand it to the Empire?
I'm not giving it to the Empire.
You killed Master Cordova.
Cal, you don't have time for this fight. Something terrible is coming for that archive. Listen to your instincts. You know I'm right.
What have you done?
If you want to keep your family safe, you get them out of there. Right now.
What have you done? You can't be.
You're not the only one who survived.
This may have been the most shocking moment for Star Wars since I first saw Empire Strike Back as a kid and heard I Am Your Father. While I want to say I didn't see this coming, there was an uneasy vibe I had right before. This moment gave Cal his greatest test yet in regards to his battle with the dark side. The death of another master and the trust that was taken advantage of truly kicked this story back into what it was at the core, Cal's fight with the dark side. Dagan did a good job at showing what could happen, but he didn't push Cal like Bo did. He only showed Cal what his obsession could do if left unchecked. Bo took what Cal just got back, his family, and practically selfishly used the compass to Tanabor for himself instead of for the safety of others, and he did this not as a random spy, but as a former Jedi. Bo didn't care about any fight, he only cared about his survival, as well as using his daughter as that excuse. Bode, I think, perfectly represents why the Jedi fell in the first place. And that's due to the overall order becoming selfish. They lost their way. Compassion became an unholy emotion, likely why Cal felt so betrayed by him. Here, as a former Jedi, instead of helping him, he is here working for the Empire. Not as an Inquisitor either, as a spy for the ISB. Take this Jedi in comparison to the High Republic Jedi Order. They acted more on compassion with the galaxy around. They didn't just only reside on the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, but instead their influence was spread throughout the galaxy as they explored learning about the Force even more. I wasn't expecting a character like Bode at all. A Jedi fallen to the dark side with a child of his own. But he was so clouded by the dark side that he failed to listen to the person he swore to protect, his daughter.
Don't put this on your daughter.
Bode, we know what it's like to grow up alone.
Please, listen to them, Papa!
All right. And when the Empire comes, will you be able to protect my little girl? I'm sorry, God. I tried.
No, Papa!
Stay back!
This moment here was one of the most impactful in the whole story. The simple fact of how Cal killed Bode has meaning. In this battle between two fallen Jedi, yes, Cal is now a fallen Jedi as he gave into the fear and used the dark side in many cases at the end of the game. Instead of using his saber, he used a blaster. Doing this too in front of Bode's daughter. To show a little comparison to a similar moment in Star Wars history, Luke Skywalker when his father was beaten and unarmed. Instead of giving into the dark side and killing his father, he threw away his weapon as he refused to kill someone unarmed. Luke won his battle against the dark side in that moment, whereas Cal lost it. However, in Star Wars there is always hope, or in Cal's case, a new hope.
You saved my life on Bracca. You let me walk my own path when I needed to. You taught me what it truly means to be a Jedi. Now you're gone. We will continue your legacy, Seer. We will build something that can outlast the Empire. I promise you that. I promise. But I'm scared. I almost lost myself. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready for what comes next.
Guide her through the darkness.
So the roles have been switched here for Cal. In the first game, Cal was saved by Seer, and unknowingly saved Seer from the dark side. He gave her a second chance with the light, and as a Jedi. The Seer of the past may have not have faced Vader as she did, and for those saying they nerfed Vader, they didn't. Do you people feel that they nerfed Obi-Wan in A New Hope? Seer knew her fate. Her story was done, same as Obi-Wan and same as Luke in The Last Jedi. Their final moments were to ensure the hope that they gave to those who know their story live on. So this is where we leave off with Jedi Survivor. Kata, Bode's daughter, will hopefully help Cal win his fight against the dark side and redeem this fallen Jedi back to his way. And yes, Marion will aid in this as well, but I say that Kata will have more of an impact in the next part of this story because I think Respawn made it clear that Cal's battle with the dark side is far from over.
I will not, Jedi. After all these centuries, I still dream of Tanalorr. I had hoped to see it again, but... oh, that is not to be. This Dagon Gera stands in your way.
You don't have to do this.
Only one of you will reach Tanalorr. Jedi, give me my warrior's death. Now!
We should go.
So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. Man, this was a lot of fun to put together. I love doing these videos, but probably going to try to do them once a month. If I do them every week or every 2 weeks, it's a lot of time, a lot of stuff, a lot of writing, a lot of editing, a lot of footage put together. It's a lot, but it's Star Wars. It's May the 4th. This was easy for me to do, and I hope you guys enjoyed and found this overall a very solid video. I will say this, closing thoughts, Cal Kestis is slowly becoming one of my favorite Jedis. I hope that we see this character in live action, preferably in that new planned Rey movie that should hopefully come out. Things with Lucasfilm. I know, big Star Wars geek, but sometimes Lucasfilm, with putting out movies, they get scrapped because Kathleen Kennedy, for some reason, can't get movies pushed out. I don't know what's going on there. That's a different conversation. But sorry, Kanan, I know you're my favorite Jedi, but Cal Kestis, he is getting pretty close. Let me know your thoughts down below on this game itself. I loved it. I know the technical issues were unfortunate. You could drop your experience down below or your thoughts on this game down below. We can have a conversation about it. If you guys did enjoy this video, it was a ton of work to put together. Yeah, like I said before, be sure to drop this video a like. Helps out the video a ton. And if you guys want more content from me besides these video essays, such things like Destiny 2 and Call of Duty, definitely be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell to be notified for when I drop more content. But that's all I got for this one. May the Force be with you. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.